knows what he's doing. He is awesome with every level of a person's familiarity and previous training. Just a tremendous person, owner of Dynamic Combative Solutions. This man serves alongside me and other concerned Arizona citizens on the board of directors of the AZCDL Foundation. I bring to you my friend, David Laird.
I'm that bearded dude she was talking about earlier, dressed in camo. How's everybody doing today? Awesome, thank you so much for coming out. It looks like we got about 3,000, 4,000 people out here today, so make sure you meet and greet everybody. Thank them because they are your friends and your neighbors. If it wasn't for people like you, we wouldn't get to do this event. Make sure you get some of the raffle tickets. Those raffle tickets are what fund all of this. So if you enjoy coming out here, the free admission, that whole thing, make sure you buy some raffle tickets and help that out. And worst case scenario, you win a firearm today. Right? They got a pretty sick looking American flag AR over there. So, my name's David Laird. I'm the owner of Dynamic Combative Solutions. I've been a firearms instructor here in the Valley for a number of years, probably over 10 years. I currently have with me 10 to 15 firearms instructors with various backgrounds. Most of them are current serving or former serving law enforcement, military, and competitive shooters. That being said, I'm here today to talk a little bit about that very first part of the Second Amendment. We focus a lot on the shall not be infringed and not so much on the very beginning, where it says a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state. You have to understand America's origins, okay? And I'm a Bible-beating Christian. So we get these intrinsic value, these rights from our Creator, whoever your Creator is. As Christians, we don't judge. You can worship whoever you want. That's what this great country was founded on. We came here packing our Bible, and we wanted to get away from the oppression going on in England, that we weren't allowed to worship the way that we want. But when we first settled here in 1607 in Jamestown and also at Plymouth Rock, we didn't have a lot of British support. And so here you are in the wilderness amongst Native Americans, and you have the Spanish that are settling in Florida, you have the French that are settling up north. In the first 150 years, we grew from a population of 2,000 to 2.4 million in the first 150 years. And so we sort of organized ourselves. We came up with our own institute of government. We came up with our own town rules. And it was actually a requirement by 1630 that all male members of the family, able-bodied males, ages 16 to 60, were required to register and join the militia. Okay, so when the Indians came through and they started attacking settlements and things like that, you'd grab your neighbors and you would defend your homes as a community. If somebody's robbing your neighbor's house, we want to be able to come to their defense. If someone's robbing our house, we'd want our neighbors to come to our defense. Being part of a community is super important. This militia system became law in many of the counties. Look it up. It wasn't until 1750, when we started the French and Indian Wars, that the British came over and started helping us out. Only it didn't really look like help. We'd been separated from them for 150 years. And these folks looked more like occupiers than they did people here coming to our aid and assistance. They started passing a lot of new rules, new regulations. They were ignoring our rules and our regulations. And the American people wouldn't stand for that. They started getting organized. They started getting ready for what was about to be the American Revolution. Many of the tactics and training that they learned at the time came from the Native Americans. We still use it today with the Rangers and the Special Forces. Okay, so we've learned quite a bit from that style of hit and run tactics. The militias, when they were organized, it was required that you got together and you trained at least once per month. So imagine today when you went home that every single one of your neighbors you knew by first name. You knew their sons by first name. You knew their fathers by first name. You knew their grandfathers by first name, because all of them were in the same militia unit as you. So they didn't think twice about it. When it came time to actually establish the Bill of Rights, obviously freedom of speech was one of the most important things. But when it got to the Second Amendment, there was a reason for it. There's a reason for the people to keep and bear arms. To form a well-regulated. What does well-regulated mean? It means well-armed, well-equipped, well-funded. Look around at some of the equipment and gear that's being carried around today. Ask yourself, have I really invested in the best equipment and in gear that I'm going to need to defend my family, defend my home, defend my community? Ask yourself, how much time have I spent this year actually training with my firearm? It's different than going to the range and just shooting paper. You want to see a noticeable improvement. You want someone there that actually knows what they're looking for to save you time and money on ammunition. You want to see a noticeable improvement. And so that's why I have this company, because I believe it is a fundamental right. And I want to help arm each and every single one of my community members and make them responsible gun owners. I want to make sure that you guys are proficient. It is your duty to be proficient with your firearm, your moral and ethical duty, if you really want to defend yourself and defend your rights. Coming here and doing this is only part of it. Anything that you do, like Mark Victor said earlier, if you need his help, it makes the entire community look bad. And I don't want to see them pass legislation and say that everybody has to pass this minimum standard of training, because that's going to influence people who need a firearm the most. Those with handicaps, those with deficiencies, bad hips, elbows, knees, grandma. Who wants to take away the gun from grandma? Not me. Okay, so we're here to actually help you, whether you want to be a tactical Timmy or you're a stay-at-home mom. We want to try and help teach the entire family how to be safe and proficient with firearms to the best of your abilities. So that being said, that's what I'm here to talk about, is the right of the people to keep and bear arms, to form a well-regulated militia. Thank you very much.